In the heart of ancient Africa lay the powerful kingdom of Mashembe, renowned for its formidable warriors, abundant resources, and unparalleled influence. Its wealth and might were the envy of neighboring realms, and its people basked in the glory of their prosperity. However, as their power grew, so did their hubris. The kingdom, once known for its inclusivity and wisdom, began to harbor a dark belief that the physically impaired were a curse sent to weaken them. The rulers and citizens of Mashembe viewed those with physical impairments as omens of misfortune, blemishes on the pristine image of their mighty empire. This belief led to the systematic segregation of the physically impaired, banishing them to the outskirts of the kingdom, where they lived in isolation and neglect in a place named Njobe. They were stripped of their rights, their dignity, and their place in society, cast aside as undesirables, unworthy of the kingdom's success. Yet within this marginalized group, there were individuals of profound wisdom and resilience, their spirits unbroken by the kingdom's disdain. Among them, a remarkable story was waiting to unfold, one that would challenge the very foundations of Mashembe's beliefs and reveal the true strength that lies in embracing all its people. One day, a great drought descended upon the kingdom and threatened to totally destroy the once ever so powerful kingdom. Crops withered, rivers dried up, and famine threatened to consume the land. The people suffered, and their cries for help reached the ears of the king. He summoned his council of advisors, including the wisest men and women of the realm, to find a solution. But despite their knowledge and experience, none could provide a remedy to quench the thirst of the parched earth. In desperation, the king declared a proclamation throughout the kingdom. A handsome reward would be given to anyone who could offer a solution to end the drought and save the kingdom from starvation. The news of the king's proclamation spread far and wide, and all the wisest of the land tried to find a solution to secure the reward. The news made its way to Njobe, where the physically impaired yet wise minds lived. Upon hearing this, Majibu, a blind man from birth, was convinced that his light had come. He knew he had the solution. Despite his disability, Majibu possessed a remarkable memory and a sharp mind. He listened intently to the tales and wisdom of the elders around him, absorbing everything like a sponge. This darkness could mark the beginning of his shine. Majibu shared this with a close friend, Chia, who encouraged him on and even offered to guide him to the palace. Early the next morning, Majibu and Chia set for the king's palace. But as soon as they set foot in the palace, they were treated harshly and asked to leave that very moment. It was abominable for them to roam around the kingdom, let alone the palace. They tried to force their way in, and Majibu kept shouting, "I have the solution! Please hear me out!" But the guards got hold of them, and luckily, as they were just about to be thrown out, the king heard the commotion and asked that they be brought into the palace at once. "Young man, you claim to have a solution? What did you mean?" the king asked. Majibu stood before the royal court and spoke with a voice filled with conviction. "Yes, your majesty," he began. "I believe that deep beneath the ground, there lies an ancient river that flows unseen. If we dig in the valley to the east, we may tap in its life-giving waters." The court erupted into laughter and disbelief. How could a blind man know such things? Yet, with nothing to lose, the king ordered his men to dig in the valley as Majibu had suggested. Days turned into weeks as the men labored under the scorching sun. Just as hope was beginning to fade, they struck water. A powerful underground river that surged to the surface, quenching the thirst of the land. The people rejoiced, and the kingdom was saved from famine. The king, humbled and grateful, summoned Majibu once more to his court. "How did you come by this knowledge, Majibu?" the king asked in wonder. Majibu smiled serenely and replied, "In darkness, I learned to listen to the whispers of the earth. Sometimes what we seek is hidden in plain sight, waiting for those who dare to believe." From that day forward, Majibu was revered throughout the kingdom. His wisdom became legendary, and he was appointed as an advisor to the king. The king, realizing his grave mistake, decreed that all people, regardless of their physical abilities, would be treated with equal respect and given a space within the kingdom. The king realized that the physically impaired were actually abled differently and had unique abilities that could totally transform the kingdom. He developed spaces where they could share their wisdom and skills, enriching the kingdom beyond measure. Njove was integrated into the rest of the kingdom, and the kingdom flourished like never before. The kingdom of Mashembe learned that true wisdom often resides where it is least expected. And it is the heart that perceives what the eyes cannot see.